Please join me in welcoming our next special guest, Mr. Sanjay Khajuria. A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I
So,
audible?
yes, sir, you are. Sir is a distinguished professional with over 31 years of experience in the food industry. Today, he will be delivering a special address on the role of corporates in driving impactful societal initiatives. Currently, Sir is serving as the Director of Corporate Affairs and Sustainability at Nestlé India Limited. Mr. Khajuria has been instrumental in integrating sustainability into business activities, emphasizing the concept of creating shared value. His extensive experience and commitment to positive change make him a valuable voice in the corporate world. Now, we eagerly await his insights on this vital topic. And once again, we very warmly welcome you to please address the audience with your special address. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And it's really an honor to be speaking to you and the audience, which honestly I can't see. I wish that next time when we speak, we are in one room because interaction and learning from each other, I think, is something I really look forward to. And next time, hopefully, we'll have the same. The topic which you mentioned is something which is really close to my heart. There is one way to do CSR, and if I were to use the impacts and the impact studies, these are comparatively recent phenomena. Maybe a couple of decades back, we started looking at it. Now, this impactful societal initiative is something which is the driving force in reshaping the CSR landscape as well. Because we actually now see what is happening, we monitor it rather than just putting resources behind a project.
Right.
Really, we are seeing more and more all the stakeholders, be it the NGOs or communities or government or CSR practitioners, and many of them are on the call today. Companies and the practitioners in companies, everyone works together to ensure that we make progress. And this progress is continuous. So what I'm going to do in next 15 minutes or so, really take you through some of the Nestlé examples, just to make a point on how national priorities and SDGs and corporations' priorities really work. So what for us is very, very important, we look at what are the priorities which communities have. So we start with areas of our operation and around our areas. For example, no surprises here, education, skill development, nutrition awareness, NCDs, gender, sanitation, water are few of the areas which are community priorities. Then we look at sustainable development goals as are relevant for the work which we do, whether it's zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, water sanitation, responsible production and consumption, and climate action. Then we really look at two more areas. One is the partners we want to work with. What is their expertise in that domain area? And I'm very fortunate that we have very strong CSR team at the head office location and also at the manufacturing location. Then we see what expertise they bring to the table. And again, when we look at it, nutrition awareness is one area where we find a lot of expertise. Water and sanitation, we are actually doing project in this area for some time, and an expertise has been built around that. Environment sustainability is another area, rural development, livelihood, and education. So what we did after doing this landscaping, so to say, we looked at 5 key areas where we are putting in our projects now, or we are working on those projects. Clearly water and sanitation, clearly nutrition awareness, rural development, environment, and livelihood. Now, once this exercise has been done, we looked at our creating shared value, as we call it, and CSR. What is it that we want to be our philosophy, so to say? We said, as I mentioned, programs should be relevant for the communities for whom these programs are done. Also SDGs. We don't focus on numbers. We focus on impact, and that's something which we're going to talk about a bit more today. Every single program which we do has to be measurable. Because if you can't measure it, you can't improvise and so on and so forth. And we look at programs which are evolved over a period of time. So one of our program, which is Nestlé Healthy Kids program, and I'll would really want to talk about that, is now some 13-year-old program and gaining strength year on year, really. What we've also done is all our CSR programs now have a sustainability element which is added to this. Let me start with the example of Nestlé Healthy Kids program. Really, this program talks about improving nutrition knowledge, practicing good hygiene, increasing physical activity, availing public health services, and so on and so forth. Two different models, and both models we have made sure that in the end there is impact which is seen. One is the model where we work with schools. Really, 6 to 7 university partners are there who are through their scholars disseminating education to school students. This program runs for about 12 hours, which means 2 hours every week per student. Again, it's a program, and we realize that students at that age want to have a program which is more interactive, more fun learning rather than a rote learning. Therefore, this program is more on posters, on interactive discussions, games, and so on and so forth. The other part of the program is which we do with the NGO called Magic Bus, which is community-based. Again, sports for development is something which this program looks at, and by way of playing, the messages are passed on to the children who attend these programs. As we speak, this program has now gone to about 480,000 students. Small number when we look at the universe we are talking about, but this is moving in the right direction. The other program which we started as part of Really Healthy Kids program, we realized that if we can start libraries as well as laboratories in school, that will go a long way. So last year, wherever we are doing this Healthy Kids program, whichever schools we are doing this, we have started putting this libraries and laboratories as well. I can tell you, when we go and see children experimenting in these laboratories, it's really a treat to watch. The other program, which again we are very proud of, as a company, we are very focused on food safety and quality. Just give me one.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Should I start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
Fine, thank you. The other program I would really want to talk about when it comes to impact is the street food vendor program. As a company, we are very, very focused on food safety, food hygiene, food quality. And 7-8 years back, we thought, why don't we start working on food safety and quality outside our operations as well? And that's the time we started working with street food vendors on food safety and hygiene programs. Really, few things which we're talking about here is controlling foodborne diseases, awareness about rights and laws, food safety and hygiene training. And we have seen that once the training happens and the street food vendor, and you can see some of them wearing the aprons and the gloves and so on and so forth, suddenly the livelihood opportunities for them also go up. We have done this presently in multiple states. 41,000 street food vendors have been covered in this. But I can tell you, there is a street food vendor festival in Delhi every year. We go there and we see many of these trained street food vendors, and you can make out when you talk to them how happy they are that they have undergone those training, because this informal sector normally gets a formal training, so to say. The other program which I would really want to talk about is the project Vriddhi, as we call it. This is really village adoption program. And the reason we started this program is that, as I mentioned, as a company, we work a lot on water sanitation, nutrition, livelihood. We thought in some villages, we bring in all our programs and see what is the impact of that. As we speak, these programs are quite successful. Again, key areas we look at water and sanitation, nutrition awareness program. We also look at how to put the right agricultural practices when it comes to these programs. And honestly, the change which we see now, when we go to these villages and see the involvement which the community has, whether it's in terms of pond rejuvenation or access to clean drinking water, or the children going to school and not missing classes, or usage of the libraries and what we call digital acceleration center, which we have put in the schools, it's really, we are really happy to see how involved communities are. In addition to that, what we are also doing is we're trying to help communities to create a governance model so that after a few years, even if the corporation is not there, they can run the program on their own. And the last program I would really want to talk about is a program which is very close to us, which is on plastic waste management. As we know, there is a huge issue of plastic pollution, post-consumer plastic waste. While companies take responsibility of these post-consumer plastic waste, but what we are doing as part of this program is we're looking at the whole value chain. Segregation is the key when it comes to this program. So we are working with the households through our NGO partner. We are working with the waste workers, and that's an area we're very proud of because we're working in recognizing and seeing that they get adequate respect, which they fully deserve. We also work with municipalities. In fact, it's a partnership with municipalities where this happens. And the dry and wet separately reaches the dry ports from where it can get recycled. As we speak, and we have picked up really the tourist location because that is where we see maximum, people like us. When we go there, we are not too careful, which we should be. We have picked up Dalhousie, Mahabaleshwar, we picked up Ponda, Nainital, 6 of these places where we are working today. Again, we are looking at behavior change. We're looking at professionalization of waste workers, providing them equipment, providing them tools on, they shouldn't get hurt when they are picking up, let's say, glasses. Look at 4-part segregation. And if you happen to be in one of these 6 places I mentioned, actually I didn't mention 6, so it's Nainital, Munnar, Mahabaleshwar, Dalhousie, Goa, and Nainital. I think these are the 6 places. We see maximum results. Now, when we talk impact, how it happens. I work for a corporation like many of us who are attending this call today. We may have ambitions and we may have dreams and we may have prepared roadmaps and so on and so forth. But the success of the program is determined by the careful planning and the execution and implementation which happens on the ground. This positive impact is possible only if corporations and our NGO partners work together harmoniously. Now, the partners we have are very, very experienced, like many NGOs who will be listening to this conversation, very professional in their approach, completely transparent, the right values, ethics when it comes to work, robust due diligence. So really 3 things which we keep talking about in our office and with our partners. They bring in a lot of credibility and trust when they work with communities. They bring in expertise in their domain area. They also bring in reach. So some of these NGOs, with every passing year, we see the number of people we are working with, the number is increasing. Now, we also see when it comes to impact between the parties, which is, between the stakeholders, which is company and the municipality, for example, in case of Hildari or FD, in case of street food, the street food vendor hygiene program, I think the vision and goals between the company and the NGO partner has to be the same. Because otherwise we will end up having more discussion rather than working on the ground. Mutual commitment. The partner has to bring in huge expertise, but at the same time to bring in huge commitment as well to pursue a goal and create an impact which we are looking at. And there has to be very, how do I put it, honest communication between the companies and the NGO partners. We are seeing impact happening, but honestly, when we look at the challenges, much more work needs to be done. Mantra is really to invest in people, build resilience, and make growth which is inclusive. There are challenges, as we know, But if we work together, impact will be seen, and we will see huge impact coming in. In the words of Helen Keller, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. And that's really the message which we keep sharing with our stakeholders. Every drop matters. With this, thanks a lot for your attention, and hope to meet you again soon.
Thank you so much, sir. Likewise, we'd love to connect with you again and again, because this speech of yours is very enlightening. And of course, it brings forward this very important aspect of collaborative mechanisms, engagement of the community, of course, planning and implementation strategies at the end of the corporates, the NGOs, and the implementation agencies. And so you also mentioned, just like Dr. Shetty had also said, that there has to be a cross-sectionality and intersectionality of all these issues, with where you're making one community powerful in one category that automatically affects the environment. If you take charge of the environment, that automatically affects the livelihood and skill development of the underprivileged community. So I think that was a very brilliant address that we received from your end today. And thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. Thanks a lot for joining us, sir, today.
Thanks a lot, and you summarized it beautifully. So thank you.
Thank you so much.